Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's edition of the Maconi Setup Shop's NIS Open Tutorials. This week we're going to showcase the open setup for this week's NIS race at the Daytona Road Course, so strap in and let's get to it. Um, be honest with you, this was one of Jeff's ideas. I thought it was a really good one. The open setup this week, the open setup is always built by Taylor Hurst. Um, it's it's pretty solid. I'm not a road course guy. I've been running a bunch of laps with Taylor, trying to do this pretty much all day. I'm within about a half a second of him, um, so I felt like this was a pretty good run to demonstrate. I can't qualify. I don't have the guts to drive it as deep as Taylor does and as good as he does. But I feel really good about this, which is why we're showing it. A lot of tips that I'm going to try to demonstrate or at least explain are some of the things that he's been helping me with. So hopefully by passing those tips along, hopefully it's going to help you guys feel a lot more comfortable getting around this racetrack with this open setup if you do so choose to run it. If you are watching this for fixed setup tips, very similar. Very similar in how the car drives, the marks, a lot of it is very similar. The technique is the biggest thing, okay? Still not 100% on the bus stop, and we're going to go over all of that. The biggest thing that I've learned so far by running laps in this car is to back it up way more than you think. Okay, if you run a GT3 car around here, you're gonna want to back it up a good 3 to 4, maybe 5 car lengths compared to what you do. And if you're somebody like me who's never run a GT3 car around here and has thousands of laps in a prototype, you're really gonna want to listen and back it up. Okay, very easy to try to do things, especially in the infield. Okay, this car is not a prototype. This car is not even a GT3 car. Okay, whether it's fixed or open, you really want to back your stuff up and be patient. Okay, I don't know how long you guys have been around, but driving this car on this track reminds me a lot of driving the old Cup car at some of the road courses when we had a ton of horsepower and a lot of wheel spin. Okay, very important to be smooth on the gas. Very important to really back your corners up. Okay, as soon as I get straight in this little section, I'm on the brakes. And I was driving it way deeper and wondering why I couldn't get the setup to slow down and giving Taylor a lot of crap when in reality it was all me. Okay, I'm backing this up way more than I've ever backed up anything around this place, and for good reason. Okay, when we get to the in car, I'm going to try to slow it down and go over a bunch of different points. The other thing, too, I talk about this all the time with every road course video that we've ever done, braking in a straight line. Okay, this track in particular with this car, if you have any brake input, I shouldn't say any brake input, you can get away with trail braking as long as you hit the brakes early enough for a corner. Okay, but if you overdrive the corner and you're really trying to get the car to slow down and you're trail braking, you can forget the corner. It's not going to want to turn, and it has nothing to do with master cylinder setup or brake bias or anything like that. The car itself just doesn't want to turn. It's a characteristics of this car, and it's been like that for a long time. A lot of these guys that you see are really fast are just really good at it. Okay. Um, Again, this 5460, Taylor can hit a 55.8, 55.9. Okay, so for me to be in within half a second, I feel really good. I know there's a lot more that I can do to be better, but I don't really have the number of laps that he does or have the time to put into it that he does. That's why he does this for you guys. Um, and that's why the open setups are as good as they have been. I'm biased, but I've driven some of the open setups, especially for testing, and I think they're pretty damn good. I don't know how they race because I really don't do many races, but every time I get to drive a setup that he makes, I always have fun and enjoy it. Um, Again, you can see as these laps go on, a little bit of trail braking here to get the car slowed down. Um, Trying to be as smooth and straight as possible before I get full throttle. Okay. Um, I find, and I've talked about this in a lot of videos before, I really find that with this, when I try to get on the gas, either to help the car rotate because I've overdriven a corner or I'm not getting through the center as good as I should and I try to use the gas to help the car turn, two things have happened when I do that. One, I either get really, really loose and end up spinning out because I can't save. I have such a hard time saving this car when the rear end kicks out, okay? Or I just plow because I'm just giving it gas and increasing my speed in the center of the corner. It's not good, okay? That's not something that you want to do. If you miss a corner, do everything in your power to brake, okay, in as straight as line as possible before you start putting wheel into it. And then if you find that you've overdriven something, you got to be patient and you got to wait. I know it's a really hard thing to do. I've been doing it all day where I'm trying to use the gas to help it turn and it just doesn't help. Okay. Uh, we'll go back a couple laps here. Actually, we'll start from the beginning and then we'll use this lap, the third lap, as a cool down. So starting off for turn one, as soon as I feel like I'm straight here, okay, this is as far as I'm going. For you guys that like visuals, this seam here where the sealer kind of ends or has a gap, you want to be straight. You want to be straight setting up for the corner. You do not need to be out on this wall because the farther out you are on this wall, the more you're going to be going through a transition, the more you're going to decamber yourself. Okay? Or sorry, de-wedge yourself as you cut across this. Same thing for coming into the corner, okay? You want to get right down onto this white line and try to stay a lane down here. If you get over this sealer here, if you cross over this area is a lot flatter than this area. You're not going to have the rotation that you're going to need. You're going to plow because this is flatter and it's not going to want to turn. So it's very important to stay down, set yourself up for this left-hander here, hold the grass, and then try to get the straightest shot off that you can. Okay, you see my throttle input? I'm not even 100%, and I don't think you're going to want to be. This corner here, okay, you see where I'm braking? In a prototype, you can send this miles deep. In a GT3 car, you could probably get away with braking just past the end of the dotted line here for exiting pit road. Me personally, I like to get as far left as I can to set up for this hairpin. As soon as I'm straight, I'm on the brake. And even this, Taylor's been telling me that this is still deep. Okay, if that puts it into perspective for you of how bad you really need to back this car up, that should be a good indicator. Okay. Get that drive off nice and straight. This corner here, very tricky. It's got to be in third. Second gear slows you down way too much. Okay, look at as soon as we're straight. Okay, we're barely even across this patch, and we're on the brakes. Okay, getting down to the curb, nice and smooth on the gas. Could probably have waited a little bit longer to get on the gas, but not much. Did miss a shift. That's on me. Okay, here's another corner. You see where we're braking? Look how long I'm waiting to get onto the gas here. In a prototype or even a GT3 car, I actually use the gas before the corner to help the car turn. That doesn't work. Every time I try that, I'm coming out way wide. I get all the crap on my tires. I get no drive off. Okay? This way, when you wait on it, you get this nice low straight shot off. Okay? And this is what sets us up for the bus stop. This whole run here is what sets you up for the bus stop. And the bus stop's no walk in the park either. Okay, it's difficult. As soon as I pass that 3 spot, I gotta be on the brakes. If I try to drive it any deeper, I'm not making it. And you can see this isn't the greatest bus stop either. That's still, by my standards, over driving it. Okay. As soon as I touch fourth here, this is kind of like my own little rhythm thing. As soon as I touch fourth, I want to get up to the wall. So as soon as I get into turn 3, on the bottom, grab fourth gear, get up to the wall to set up for this hairpin right here. Okay, now one thing I want to go over before I start this quiet lap. At no point are you going to be touching 5th gear. All the turns in the infield are in 1st gear, and that last chicane is also in 1st gear. The bus stop is 2nd gear. And real quick, if you have the setup and you go to the notes, Taylor has all of these notes in every open setup. Okay, this is different for the road course, all this information, but Taylor makes sure that you have all of these notes to look at for whenever you have the open setup. Okay, we'll run the silent lap, and then I'll show you guys my tires at the end of this. All right, guys, a couple things I want to go over that I find are very important. As we know, the week 13, the new season is going to come with a massive build. We are prepared just in case. If the changes are as extreme as we feel like they're going to be, if the setups are all broken when the update comes out, everything's going to get updated as soon as humanly possible on the Tuesday as soon as the build is live. If I have to remake another video to be safe because of how drastically different things are, um, we'll have another video out on Tuesday if needed. Just wanted to point that out as well. Taylor is more than prepared if the setups are, quote, broken. Okay. Um, this is just to come out. Anybody who's doing fixed, you guys. Well, actually, I shouldn't be saying that because there's no A class series. Everything's NIS. So if anybody's running last before the bill comes out, this is a quick guide on how to get around here. Again, I never claim to be a road course ringer. I know I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. The biggest thing that I've always been good at is limiting my mistakes and not going off track and giving up unnecessary time due to self-inflicted errors. Okay? And that's all you got to be. When it comes to racing here, when you have other cars on the track, just keep it on the road. Let other people make mistakes, let other people take themselves out, protect yourself, and make sure that you're on track for the entire time. That way you're not giving up any unnecessary time because it's very, very difficult to make up big chunks of time. It's very, very easy to give up big chunks of time. Okay? That should just about do it for this week's video. As always, if you find that this video was helpful, please consider leaving a like. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop a comment down below. I kind of expect a lot of them, especially with how bad my driving is, the open setup deal, all this fun stuff. Let us know if you guys want to do more open videos or if you prefer the fix. I think the fix is good because if you're going to have the open video, or if you're going to have the open setup, having the fixed video to watch is a very good basic tutorial, and then the open setup is just going to be the same thing essentially, just faster. Okay. Um, it was a really nice idea in my opinion, especially for the week 13. Um, this is always pretty popular, so we wanted to do something a little different for you guys. All right, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you can see these videos every Monday when they're posted on the Maconi YouTube page. Best of luck this week, and we'll see it on the track.